So topic here that we are going to discuss it is the properties of bleaching powder. So let's start about its properties. Before that, you guys must note that what is does mean by the bleaching powder. It is the basically compound of chlorine and oxygen, and it is prepared by this simple method in which the chlorine, when it comes in contact with the calcium hydroxide, which is called as slaked lime, it is going to be form the bleaching powder, which is CaOCl, and then chlorine. This is the simple formula for the bleaching powder. And when we talk about any chemical compound, it has two types of the properties. The number one, its properties are called as its physical properties. Along with that, it has some chemical properties. So both properties are very important to discuss before the use of the any type of the compound. So let's start its properties. First of all, we will have its physical properties. The number one property, it is yellowish white powder. So it is present in the finely grinded powder, which is white in color specifically, but sometimes it may shows yellowish to white color. It has or it possesses strong chlorine smell as this compound is containing chlorine, so that's why it is having very strong smell of chlorine, which is like the pungent smell that is irritating to somehow. And the third one is it is soluble in water. It can be easily soluble in water. On the other hand, the bleaching powder it should always be packed in the airtight container, because if it is in an open atmosphere, then there will be the loss of chlorine. So to avoid the loss of chlorine, we must pack it in a airtight container. After these physical properties of the chlorine, we have its chemical properties. So the number one chemical property of the chlorine, as it is containing the oxygen, so it can act as an oxidizing agent. This is just property due to the generation of the hypochlorite ion, whose formula is OCl negative. It produces it in water. So when this bleaching powder CaOCl2 in the aqueous form or reacts with the water, it produces the ions like calcium ions, it produces chlorine ions, and it produces hypochlorite ions. And then its second chemical reaction is with the dilute acid, and it is producing a hypochlorous acid. Hypochlorous acid is basically an oxyacid of halogens. So this method can be used for the preparation of this hypochlorous acid. Like the bleaching powder, when it is going to be react with this dilute H2SO4, and H2SO4 here its name is sulfuric acid, then it produces three compounds. The number one compound is calcium sulfate Ca2SO4, then the second one is calcium chloride, and the third one is hypochlorous acid. Why it is named as hypo? Because it contains only one oxygen in it, so that's why it is named as hypochlorous acids. Then we have its reaction with the H2SO4 when it is in excess amount. So when we have excess of an acid, which is can be weak or can be a strong, it is added to the bleaching powder, and then there is a formation of chlorine in this process. So the chemical reaction for this, we have bleaching powder, calcium and OCl2, which is present in the solid state. When it do come in contact with the H2SO4, it produces calcium sulfate CaSO4 along with the production of the water, and then it produces chlorine gas over there. This is the third chemical reaction of the bleaching powder that we have. After this, It can also oxidize the other acids like HCl, which is hydrochloric acid, HBr, hydrobromic acid, as well as hydrogen iodide. It is giving their corresponding halogens on reaction with the bleaching powder. When it is going to be react with the HCl, then it produces calcium chloride, it produces water as well as the chlorine gas. Likewise, when here we have the bleaching powder, it is going to be react with the acid like HBr. Then what type of compounds are going to be produced over there? Here, first of all, it will produces the calcium bromide, then it produces water as well as it produces the chlorine. So it produces its corresponding halogens as well as the simple compounds over there. After this, we have its reaction with the ammonia and carbon dioxide. It can also oxidize the ammonia to nitrogen. Here, the formula of ammonia we have NH3. This is the bleaching powder. When it come in contact with the ammonia, it produces calcium chloride, CaCl2. It produces the water as well as it produces nitrogen. On the other hand, when it is going to be react with the carbon dioxide, it just forms the calcium carbonate, a solid compound, as well as it also produces the chlorine gas along with this. So this is the simple chemical properties of the bleaching powder that we have discussed. It can react with the ammonia and it can react with the different substances as well as it can act as an oxidizing agent. Now, why it can act as an oxidizing agent? The simple answer is this: because it contains oxygen, and when it is going to lose that oxygen, it just reduce itself and oxidize the other substances or the other different compounds. So this was a simple topic. I hope you guys understand, and if you have any queries, you may ask me about that in the comment section and I will get back to you guys soon. The next topic that we have, it is the uses of the bleaching powder in detail. For that time, you guys keep learning and have a good day.